Welcome to Vermontitude, a collaborative effort between Great Eastern Radio, the Brattleboro Reformer, and BCTV to bring you the stories behind the stories on the topics you want to learn more about. Because there's always more, so there'll always be Vermontitude. Hosted by me, Peter Fish Case. Welcome to Vermontitude. New episodes drop every Tuesday and can be found by going to vermontitude.com, reformer.com, brattleboro.tv, and locally on Comcast Channel 1078. We come to you from our studios at the Innovation Box on Landmark Hill. I'm Peter Fish Case, and each week I cover the topics that are of concern to Windham County and the towns that reside within their borders. Today, we're talking with Krystal Crandall, who works for the Brattleboro Police Department as their animal control officer. And on Saturday, March 16th, they're holding a pretty big event. So there's too much to list here, so we'll just have the conversation. Welcome, Krystal.
Hello.
All right.
How are you?
I am well. How are you?
Good.
All right. So animal control officer, let's talk about that for a second. So you're just about a year on the job now.
Yep.
All right. How are we liking it?
I love it.
Yeah.
I couldn't ask for a better job. You know, it's a lot of fun every day, something new, and I get to save animals.
All right. There you go. So what got you into the position? Why? What was the interest in it?
I started out, what really got me into like wanting to do something in law enforcement in general was when I was in high school. I did the law enforcement program at the Career Center. Mm-hmm. And then after that, I really wanted to, but some, things kind of happened and I wasn't able to right away. So the job became available and I was like, I'm going to try, and it ended up being a perfect fit. And I'm really thankful I did because I love it. I really do, truly.
Good. It's important to love what you do.
Yeah.
But now you're sort of an events coordinator here. We've got quite itinerary of stuff going on here on Saturday, March 16th from 9 to noon up at 62 Black Mountain Road. And for those of you scoring at home, that's the police department. Let's start with the rabies clinic.
So we are holding the rabies clinic. And there's going to be quite a few things going on there. And typically this is something that annually they do. They used to do it at the West Brattleboro Fire Department.
Right.
But it hasn't been done in a couple of years since the old animal control officer retired. So I'm bringing it back and we're kind of bringing it back with a boom.
Okay. Yeah, I see that.
We have the rabies clinic for cats and dogs. We have the Humane Society is going to be there and they're offering microchipping for cats and dogs.
Right.
And we also have the town clerk's office. They'll be there to do licensing for the dogs as well, because that is due in April. Mm-hmm. And then we have fire trucks coming up and possibly the newly outfitted rescue sort of. It's the ambulance and the fire truck. Yeah.
Okay.
So that people can check that out. And we're going to have some officers there, so that, people can mingle and talk with the officers if they would like. And we also have a car seat check event with the health department. They're coming. That is free to the public. You can come up if you have a child, you are expecting, you have a grandchild, whatever the case may be, and you want to make sure that your car seat is installed correctly. There is going to be certified car seat technicians there on site, and you just come on up and we'll take care of it for you.
All right. Now there are certain there are expenses to some of this that we should put out there. The rabies clinic for cats and dogs. The vaccine itself is $15 an animal, which is and it's cash only.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing cash only just because it's going to be easier. We don't obviously have like card machines on site, anything like that. So we're doing cash only for both the microchipping and the rabies clinic. But with the town, they are doing cash or check.
Right.
The rabies vaccines are $15 a piece per animal. The microchipping is $25 per animal. And the dog licenses with the town clerk's office, it's $19 for a spay neutered animal, $23 for unneutered.
Right. Well, I registered my guy online, so he's all good to go. So I won't need any of that. But these we should mention that these are fairly reduced costs as well.
Yes. So. Yep. I'm not exactly positive on the normal cost for the microchipping at the Humane Society. Mm-hmm. I know I think it's about $35.
Okay.
I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. So that's definitely reduced. I know that they've brought it down. And then typically a rabies vaccine, I mean, depending on where you go, it can be 18, 23, 25. Everybody charges differently.
Right.
So this is definitely reduced quite a bit.
All right. And I guess the question, and maybe you can answer this, maybe it's not a fair question, but like, how do you know that your dog might need this or not need this?
So with a rabies vaccine, typically you would get, you'll get their tag, you'd get paperwork, and it would last 1 year, 2 year, 3 years. It kind of depends. They all do them differently.
Okay.
So you would either have that, but I mean, if you're unsure, you could just bring them up. I don't necessarily know that it wouldn't hurt to get them a booster or whatever if you think that they need it.
All right. So, all right, that's good. And what's the benefit of getting your animal, getting him the rabies vaccine, him or her? Excuse me.
Well, rabies is a death sentence. You know, there's no cure for that. You know, and humans can get it just the same. And getting them vaccinated means that you're not going to continue the spread of rabies. We want to stop it, eradicate it completely. And by doing that, it helps definitely significantly slow that. We don't see many rabid animals in this area.
No. That is true. Microchipping. Now, this is something that folks may or may not be aware of. If you could just elaborate a little bit as to what that is and what's involved there.
So microchipping is a fantastic thing. I highly recommend it. I'm going to say that first. With microchipping, it is not a tracking device, but if your animal is found, we have a typical type of microchip scanner. We can scan it, get the numbers, and track it back to the owner through the company that runs it. So basically, if anywhere, it could be a different state. If they find your animal, they'll be able to contact you and let you know, hey, we have your dog here, or your cat here. There you go. Would you like to come pick it up? But one thing that I got to say, because I actually ran into this with an animal that I found last week and we still haven't found the owner, is when you get your animal microchipped, make sure that you follow up and you put your information on the animal's microchip. You have to contact the company and, you know, say I'm ... and I live at ... my number is ... The person that microchip it doesn't do that for you.
Right.
You have to follow up and finish it, or you'll have a microchipped animal that has no owner, essentially.
Right.
So
yeah.
That's super important.
Pretty critical. I mean, because we would assume if you're getting your animal microchipped, it's because, God forbid, this animal gets loose and runs away. They're able to find it and reunite.
Right. And people don't know, like, I've seen it a few times. They have no idea that they're supposed to, you know, contact and follow up and put their information in. They just assume that that's already done. So please, please, please make sure you, if you're going to do it the whole thing.
Right.
You know?
So there is an option if we're going to jump to the child safety and seat installation. So the technicians will be there to check your seats and do that. But if for some reason, it looks like if they can't make it, there is a number to call, 802-257-7946. What happens there? Do you just schedule an appointment to have somebody check it?
Yep, absolutely. I am a certified car seat technician, and we have another one, Maria Barrett. She is our evidence technician, but she is certified in car seat installation as well. We can happily set up an appointment with you. We just ask some basic questions, name, how old's a child, height, weight, what type of car seat is it, and then we just go from there. We're happy to try to work with you to make sure that we can get it done as soon as possible.
All right. So can I put you on the spot for a second?
Sure.
All right. What's your favorite animal story so far in the year that you've been serving? So that's a big question.
My favorite animal story. Let's see. I have quite a few. I'd have to say somebody found a hamster. It came through their wall. Okay. And it ended up in their shower. Oh. And I thought that was pretty great. I mean, it's funny, but at the same time, like, who'd have thunk a hamster could make it through the walls and like landed someone's shower?
Was it their shower? Was it not their hamster?
No, it was not. No, it came from a different apartment in the building. And I mean, luckily the hamster was totally fine.
Yeah.
It ended up being rehomed, but that's probably my favorite so far.
All right. That's a good one. That's a good one to end on right there. All right. Thank you so much for jumping on Vermontitude. Good luck on the 16th. It sounds like a really exciting day. If you want to take a tour of a fire truck or an ambulance, microchip your dog licensing, rabies clinic, and even make sure your kids are safe in their child seats. This is a good day to do that.
Absolutely. Come on by. We'd love to see you.
Thanks for coming on.